Hey you guys, so for today's video, or should I say this moment's video, I am going to be talking about the time that I spontaneously moved to Vegas. Yes, I said it, child, I said it. I am from the East Coast. I am from down south, East Coast. Some people say where I'm from is the East. Some people say I'm from the South. So Southeast, that's where I'm from, child. And I moved all the way to the West and never did it before, and I'm going to just tell y'all how I did it. Maybe I could help you guys. I know that when I was interested in moving to Vegas, before I moved to Vegas, guess what I did? I was right here on YouTube looking up videos about other people who moved to Vegas. Some were parents, some was in the same situation that I was, just wanting a new start, just wanting to start over. Some I watched, they literally just left everything they had and just stepped out on faith. So maybe my little video can help someone who is, a single parent like myself. I could tell you, my mistakes or whatever the case may be. I might just give you a couple keys. Anywho, so how did this start? So it started off with this girl who was my friend at this time. I'm just gonna call her, what are we gonna call her? Let's just call her Mary. I'm just gonna call her Mary. So Mary and I, we were the best of friends. We were friends off and on. That's gonna be a whole nother story because bitches ain't shit. But anyways, so we were actually talking about, how we both just wanted to get from where we're from. Like I said, we're from the Southeast area. Ain't nothing going on where we're from. Me personally, I was actually from a very, very, very small town. The town is so small that you actually have to say the town that is by, or the county, so someone would know where you are if they wasn't familiar with that area. So you would be like, oh yeah, I'm from this place. Yeah, it's like 10-15 minutes from this place. You ever heard of that place? Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, you got me. Yep. So that's where I was. So I was all for it. So I was like, okay, how are we gonna do this? So we started Googling. So we Googled up the top 20 most affordable places in America. I'm gonna try to make this video as short as possible. I know you like, girl, you just talking so damn fast. That's how I talk, especially when I'm in a little zone. So I mean, hey, as long as you can hear, you can hear. So either way, so we looked at the top 20 most affordable places in America, and Vegas was on there. But I wasn't really into Vegas, and I really want to make this point because for some strange reason, I guess because I moved and the girl did not end up moving, she made this a big point when we had our little last falling out that she was the one who thought of Vegas. So yes, hunty, yes, Mary, if you're watching this, you was the one who started Vegas. You did. You were the one who put the bug in my ear about Vegas. You was, girl, you was. Okay, I digress. So anyways, she was all on it for Vegas. So at first I was like, girl, I don't think I want to go to no Vegas, girl. There's so many different places in this world. You going on by the Vegas. But she kept giving me all these different points or whatever. So I'm like, okay, let me check it out. So I'm checking it out, and I'm like, okay, I see what you mean. Okay, I kind of like this. Okay, I can see me doing this. I'm actually certified through Hilton Worldwide, which is, the hotel industry. So I'm like, this would be a great place for me to hurry up and get a quick job doing this because I'm already certified. I have these credentials, so I know it won't be hard for me to get a job there, whatever the case may be. Well, I'll talk about that in a couple minutes from now. So I'm like, okay, girl, I see Vegas. I see why you see Vegas. Let's figure this out. So we finally confirmed, okay, we gonna at least go and visit Vegas when we get our taxes, which would be that February. And I think this was October-ish, November-ish time. So we're really preparing. We really coming to each other's houses, and we're having our notebooks, and we're writing down places and apartments and rental properties and all this different little thingies that we're looking up, trying to figure out, so when we get there, we won't have to start from scratch. We can already kind of have a layout of what we want to do, places we want to go and see, and all that type of good stuff. So tax time came February. Fast forward in February, tax time came. We got our tickets. So I'm gonna actually just give you a clean version, since this story is really strictly based on me moving to Vegas. But I am gonna do a whole nother video about that bitch, Mary. So I'm gonna try my best to not steer off and go in on Mary, because Mary, just know Mary had a little lamb. Just know that, okay? Mary had a little lamb. All right. So we done booked our flights. We're over there. We done flew to Vegas. We get there, got our rental car, our hotel. All of that is straight. You know, when we get there, we're lit. We're like, oh my god, we're in motherfucking Vegas. We didn't know that we was gonna do it, but we did it. You know what I'm saying? Bitches was sleeping on us, but guess what? We hopped on that motherfucking plane and we're in this bitch, and we're going to move here tomorrow. That's how we was feeling. So we was so hyped that shit, when we got there, it was like 11, 12 o'clock. We was like, bitch, we ain't going no fucking sleep. You know what I'm saying? But ain't shit going on in Vegas like that, even though they make it seem like so much be going on at night. But I'll talk about really Vegas once I get to me moving there. But yeah, so Vegas wasn't even popping like we was thinking it was popping. So we was like, you know what, we gonna find us some weed and we're going to fucking Cali. From Vegas to LA was 4 hours. So we was like, hey, we done did that before. You know, a 4-hour trip ain't shit. Where we're from, 4 hours from where we're from is Atlanta. So we like, girl, we got this. So we found some weed at the 7-Eleven. Yes, I said it correctly. 7-Eleven, okay? For the ones who couldn't hear, the ones in the back. So a 7-Eleven is a 7-Eleven, but in Atlanta, because we don't have a 7-Eleven where I'm from, but in Atlanta, when you go to a 7-Eleven, you find anything. Like, whatever you want, you got it. You need you a hot nigga, a hood nigga, a thug nigga, you got it. You want some weed, you got it. I'm not looking for nothing else, but I'm sure if you need something else, you will find it at the 7-Eleven. So I'm telling her, girl, we going to the 7-Eleven. I just not seen around this corner. We gonna ask a hood nigga for some weed, and we just gonna proceed. So that's another story itself. So we found some weed. We made it to LA. So now we're in LA. It started raining actually, so because we wanted to go like to a beach, because we never been there before, but we did that. Okay, I'm not even gonna ramble about LA because we're talking about Vegas here. So we just know we had an awesome time in LA, even though we really didn't do too much. Just sightseeing and being someplace that you've never been before was just good all together. It was just breathtaking. California is probably the most beautifulest, which I know that's not really a word, but the most beautifulest state that I've seen. And I crossed just about all of them. Well, not really all of them, but I crossed country, so Cali was by far the most beautifulest state. Anyways, so now fast forward, after we done did all of that, we done rode around in Vegas, we done went to our apartments, we done looked around, we done did so much. It's so much in Vegas, in that little city, that it was 4 days wasn't even enough for us. But we got a generalized idea. One thing about me, y'all, because I just had to get that word together, please know this: I'm not gonna be one of them YouTubers that be sitting there editing these videos all 24 minutes of my life. So if I fuck up a word, I done fucked up the word. I'm gonna try to correct it, and we're gonna keep moving on. If I don't even know how to correct it, I'm gonna keep moving on. So if you want to waste your time, your breath, your life commenting trying to correct me, by far, go ahead, because I'm not gonna waste my time, my breath, and my life reading those comments. But anywho, so yeah, so we loved it. We saw everything. We got a general idea. We both said that we were gonna move there. So when I got back, I started my process, packing up my house, quitting my job, all that different stuff, getting myself ready to move. So kind of find out she didn't want to move anymore, but she was packing up her house. She was putting her shit in storage, and at first I thought it was to move to Vegas, but then it was actually so she could move with her baby daddy. So like I said, y'all, these bitches ain't shit. So I'm like, okay, so now I have to kind of retweak my plans, because the plans with her having 2 kids and me having 1, we were going to do this together. We were in this together. So now that she is basically moving in with her baby daddy. She's not coming to Vegas anymore. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with my son, or how we're going to tweak that, if I should bring somebody else along, what should I do. So I just asked my mom and like my aunts and my grandma if they could kind of just help me with Ivan as far as like keeping him here, and then giving me like 3-4 months to get myself together over there, because I already had a job lined up and all of that. So I'm just like, let's just do this, and I'll send for you and Ivan to come back. My son is named Sir Ivan. I'll send my mom and Ivan back, and we just start keeping the ball rolling. So they agreed or whatever. So finished packing my stuff, kissed everyone goodbye. My boyfriend, I asked him to come, but he just had experienced a tragic death with his brother, so he was kind of like, I don't want to leave my family right now with all that's going on. I don't want them to think that I'm leaving them as well, and whatever the case may be. So I'm like, oh babe, I totally understand, so you stay, and whenever you're ready to come, just know to come on. Okay, so it took me 3 days, you guys, 3 days to get there. Now, as far as gas, I wish I had kept up with my gas, because that is like one of the main questions I get anytime someone asks me about Vegas. I don't know, and the reason why I am telling you I don't know is because my boyfriend, he's traveled to California so many times, and he kept telling me that it's a road where it's no gas stations, like it is 0 gas stations, but he couldn't remember where the road was. So with me being so paranoid, and I'm here by myself, I don't have nobody, I don't know anyone outside of Atlanta, so I'm about to cross the rest of the world and I don't even know nobody. So I was just like, no. So every time my gas get like almost to a half a tank, if I pass by a gas station, I'll just go ahead and stop and just refill back up. So that's why I can't tell you exactly how much I spent, or how much gas or gallons or tanks it took to get me to Vegas. But I can tell you that it took me 3 days, and it took me 3 days with me just taking naps in my car. I did not stop for any hotels or anything like that. I actually dealt with Pilot and Love. They are truck stops. I actually worked for a Pilot back where I'm from, so I already kind of knew like how their company works, as far as like they making sure their bathrooms are clean, and they normally always have restaurants connected to their gas stations, and they're kind of like together, so I know like they're clean and stuff like that. So I just stuck to what I know, which right there is and a piece of advice for anyone who's trying to do this, especially if you're doing this alone: stick to what you know. If you know that like for example, Pilot, if you know Pilot truck stop is a good place, go there. If you didn't know, I'm telling you, if you're traveling and you're passing a Pilot or a Love truck stop, those are great truck stops. I mean, you may always have a little hiccup because nobody's perfect, but I can assure you, you want the best quality of service, Love's or Pilot, they're like the same person, but I guess the more which way you go, it turns into whoever. So but I would just whenever I'm sleepy, I would take a nap there. I mainly drive all during the day, because I was fine. Like, as long as the sun was up, I could keep cruising and cruising and cruising. I might stop and take a little nap and then keep cruising, but at night I would probably sleep the most, like sleep maybe like 4 or 5 hours, then get up and just start back driving. And if I get sleepy again, then I might pull over and take another couple hour nap, and then it'll be like 8 o'clock, so now the sun's out and I can drive all day. So like I said, it took me like 3 days. So once I got there, now the con to Vegas, or at least getting to Vegas, and even with Cali too, is when you're dealing with those hills and those mountains and stuff, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's the altitude drops or rises, but don't quote me on that word, but I think that is what it is. But it's like your ears start to pop. So that was so annoying, y'all. Like, that was so annoying, because it's like you just want to like just pop your ears, but you can't. So I got there. I actually got there on a Thursday, because my last like official interview for the job that I was doing was that Friday. So that's another reason why I was rushing too, because I left that Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, yeah, that's right. So another piece of advice: jobs. if you are going to a job, well, if you're moving and you're trying to find a quick, easy job to hurry up and make pretty good money, full-time, all that, I would suggest a call center. That's what I did. Of course, I did apply to other little places too, but it was like those call centers was really like calling me right back. The only thing I had to wait for the longest was my training and stuff like that, which I just got a little job at McDonald's or whatever until I started working there. And because I didn't have a son, my plan actually was to work both jobs until my son came. But I ended up going hiking with my weed man and I sprained my ankle, so I couldn't do McDonald's no more. And since the call center, of course, is a sit-down job, I was just all for that. So but the call centers, if you're kind of lost or you just need you a startup job or something like that, I recommend call centers. Like I said, they are fast. They're gonna call you back, because a lot of call centers have a high turnover rate. They're gonna call you back even if you don't feel like a call center is not the job for you. You know, with call centers that you're gonna go through at least 2 months of training, at least 6 to 8 weeks of training. So at least you know that that's 6 to 8 weeks of a full 40-hour, 80-hour check that you're gonna be receiving. So why not do it at least until you apply and maybe find something else? And you don't know, you might like the call center job. That's just my advice from what I went through and how I went through it. Now, with that being said as well, so I went there for Sykes. Now my record is expunged. That's gonna be another story on my record, but I had a little record, but it's expunged. But I assume because we're in Vegas, which is a place where, you know, they have a lot of like homeless people, con artists, because it's just so much going on in Vegas. It's just it's a tourist place. It's a what you want to call it, a entertainment site. That's all it is. Everybody is just, it's just entertainment everywhere. Just too much going on, you know what I'm saying? So I assume because of all that, that's why they were still able to pull up my record. So, you know, they put up my record, and I now just think that was God, because at the time I was so mad. They wanted my expungement paperwork, and I know I had it with me. Like, I know I had it with me. And I tore up my little pouch thing up all the way. I went through every single piece of paper and I could not find it. So because I couldn't find it, I could not get the job. So what I did was, one of my weed men, I smoke weed, well, used to, but one of my weed men, I was asking him, like, damn, I had this job with Sykes, but they're doing this, and I just need me a job. Like, I'm tired, I just want me a job. So he told me about Sutherland and like a few more places, and I can't remember because I applied to all the places that he told me, but Sutherland was the people that called me back first, and they were really the one that gave me everything that I was already looking for. My pay rate from my hometown, it was the same pay rate, except for it was like 4 cents off. So it was like, okay, that's still in my bracket. You know, the apartment that I'm trying to be in is already in my bracket, so it's like, I'm good. Hello. So yeah, so I'm straight. Okay, so like I said, the only thing about the call center is you might have to wait for your training. So I went to my interview, passed my drug test, did everything was great. My training was like a month from that date, so I'm like, okay, that's a whole nother month. Like, oh my god, like, I'm pressed for time now, because, you know, I only promised my family to keep my son for only like 3 to 4 months. So I'm like, oh my god, I'm freaking out because I can't even start work for a whole month. So that's what made me go ahead and just say, fuck it, I'm going back to McDonald's. I don't even know these people over here. Not saying something is wrong with McDonald's, but it's like, you know, at a certain point in my life, I felt like I had overcome McDonald's. So I just was like, you know what, I don't even give a fuck. I'm just gonna do this because I'm just sitting up in this fucking hotel. Another thing that I did, so even though I knew about the apartments that I wanted to live in, because when I went to my interview for Sutherland and they said my training was like a whole month, I didn't want to spend, and it wasn't even the majority of my money, I just didn't want to spend that large amount of money and couldn't even start my job because you don't know what's gonna happen. A month is a long time to be waiting to work. So I was just like, I don't think I want to spend all this money. You know, you got to do your security deposit, first month rent, make sure your lights is on, buy a little furniture. So that was like a lot that I was gonna have to spend right then, and not having any more income generating for like another 30 days. So I just was staying in a weekly. Now, the only bad thing that I didn't like about this was the fact that I got there Thursday, Friday. So the weeklies that were affordable, they were already booked. So the weekly that I was in, I ain't gonna lie, it was so nice. It really was nice, but it was high as fuck. So I did just go ahead and spend that week there because you pay for it by the week. That's what a weekly is. You have hotels, but a lot of times, especially up there, or maybe just the area that I was in, you mainly have like weeklies or whatever. So I was just paying by the week. Then I found a little affordable weekly, so I was just staying in that weekly, and that's really where I stayed the remainder of my stay. So now, so I'm scanning the weekly, I'm working at McDonald's, I'm waiting to start at Sutherland. Everything is good, you know, everything is good. I'm meeting people slowly but surely, you know, because I'm the only one over there. I don't know absolutely nobody. And then, you know, people are so crazy anywhere you go, so it's like, you know, they extra crazy in Vegas. So it's like, I'm not even trying to be in that lifestyle. I'm not even trying to go out by myself. I'm not trying to do nothing by myself that I can't do by myself. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be in no bar getting drunk by myself or some shit like that by myself. No. So I really was like a homebody, just stay in my weekly and go to work. But you know, I'm also a social butterfly. I love people, I love to talk, I love to laugh, I love to entertain. So, you know, I'm just like, okay. I started talking to my little McDonald buddies. You know, a lot of them was very young, but they were cool people, just give you a little conversation. I did start hanging out with one girl from my from McDonald's. Shout out to Raven if you're watching this, girl. Hey girl, hey, I love you and I still appreciate everything you and your family has done for me. So her dad, he was that nigga, okay? Her dad was cool as fuck, and her mom was cool as fuck too, and they had already been married for like 20, I think it was like 20 something years, but they were still kind of young. So it was like, they was just like that couple that is like me and my boyfriend, what we got going on. So it was just like you know, like one day I actually went over there and nobody was there but her mom, and me and her mom just sat and had like a heart to heart, because I was asking her, you know, how did you deal with this, that, and third? You've been here 20 years, blah blah blah, you know what I'm saying? How you did that, how you held him down, you know? So, you know, her family was just the shit. She was so cool, she was very nice, laid back, just a young, she was younger than me, so you know, she was just like a little sister. But it was like just me talking to her family, and you know, they're asking me stuff too, and I guess everybody was just so impressed at the fact that, you know, I was 22 and I came all the way over here by myself, and I'm trying to do this and that. So you know, they really fucked with me, like, and I fucked with them. So I was hanging out with her and all that stuff. And so then when I started with Sutherland or whatever, like right like the week before I was supposed to start at Sutherland, I went hiking with my weed man. My weed man is like one of them Bob Marley type of dudes, and he always goes hiking with his brothers and his family like every weekend, every other weekend. And like the last couple times he was going, he was forgetting about me. So I was like, nigga, like, I swear to God, like, I want to go, like, please come get me, come fucking get me. So this time he was like, okay, bitch, well, he ain't call me no bitch for real, but he was like, okay, girl, we going, so come on, you could go, blah, blah, blah. That's another story too. Never would go hiking a day in my life, but I did go hiking. It was an experience. It was good and bad. It was an experience, let me say that. But I sprained my ankle, so now I'm starting at Sutherland, so I'm working there. Started meeting friends there. Girl, I found out that as long as you are if you're in a casino, as long as you're playing, you get free drinks. Yes, and I don't mean non-alcoholic, I mean like real alcohol drinks. Like, yeah, a bitch was sipping on Henny and Coke for the longest time. I was trying drinks like margaritas and shit that I never even had. I don't like margaritas, by the way, and I don't like mojitos. But yeah, so So we did all of that. So you know, me and my friends, we would do little things like that. And then when I got in with Sutherland, you know, you're in a training class, you're with the same people for like 8 weeks. So you know, they have a lot of little games and stuff for you to play to kind of start becoming friends with your employees, whatever the case may be. And you know, since I was new, you know, over there in Vegas, girl, you're not gonna meet a lot of people that's from Vegas. You're gonna meet a lot of people that is not from Vegas and that are probably doing or have done the same thing that you did. So just know that, because I had so many people that was so supportive of me. Like I had a lady, like I was crying when I decided I was gonna come back home, and I was like, oh my god, like I just want to do this. I can't understand how to do this without my son. My mom's not doing what she's supposed to do, and I just don't want to bring him back by myself. And she was like, babe, pipe down, okay? You know, I'm 60 something years old, and let me tell you something. I was in an abusive relationship, and me and my 2 kids, we just up and left and moved to California, okay? And I ain't have shit. We didn't have shit, but guess what? I'm still here, and my kids are good, because when God takes you out of something, he's gonna put you in something better. And I was like, you know what, you're right. And I should have took that advice, but I didn't, because I got scared. But everything is a lesson learned. But anyways, yes, so I created my little friends, started doing little things. It was all cool. It was good. It was good. So long story short, because we're kind of like at the end now on how I ended up in Vegas and why I'm coming back. What else about Vegas do I want to tell y'all? So it's hot as fuck. It's a humid heat because they don't really have trees over there. Like where I'm from, the southeast, it's trees everywhere. And you know, in science, I didn't really care about everything that was going on, so it really didn't make sense to me until I went over there and I realized that it was no trees and no grass, and so you don't have something to absorb that heat from the sun. You know what I'm saying? That green grass and green heat, it absorbs the damn sun rays. So you know, even though it's hot, you know what I'm saying, you can still, you can breathe. But over there, you already don't have no trees, babe. Then you got all this sunshine, and girl, you can't hardly breathe, girl. I used to have to put sunscreen on just to drive down the fucking road. Do you hear me? I was really thinking about going to get my windows tinted, but I was like, you know what, it's not even worth all that. Even though it was, if I had stayed in Vegas longer, I'm sure I would have just went ahead and tinted my windows, because I literally used to have to like put sunscreen on just to drive down the road. What else? Is that humid heat, that sunscreen. Ooh. That's it. They food good. You gotta know where to go to. You gotta know what to do. I would say the best spots is spots that they don't include in tourist attractions, and that is because when you have a lot of tourist attractions, then you know it comes with a lot of people. So with that being said, not saying that all of the companies do that, I'm just speaking for general information. When you're dealing with a lot of people like that that's coming in and out, a lot of tourists and stuff, you are not thinking about quality, you're thinking about quantity. How many people can you get in and out so you can create room for more people? So with that, you know, you may not get a good quality of your product, of your food, whatever you're trying to try. So I would say to go places that off the radar. You know, the more you just ride around, you might find a little spot over here, you might find a little spot over there. You know, for me, my greatest thing was soul food. The soul food restaurants, it's one that's on the Strip. I can't remember the name right now. It's beside that little wedding chapel, and then there's one that's actually not in Vegas, but is in I think it's called like Sunshine or Sunhill or something like that. It was like 30 minutes, but I actually like them better than I like the one on the Strip, so I would take that 30-minute ride. I didn't even care, and eat. So that was my thing, because I just missed the little soul food, you know, from my grandmother and just the southeast area. But you know, it didn't taste like southern food, but it was good to say it was soul food, chicken and cornbread and little stuff like that. I already told you about the liquor. As long as you're in casinos, you could drink for free. They have slot machines everywhere, gas stations, anywhere you can think of, except for like a hospital. They have what you call them, slot machines. What else? It does rain over there. It does rain. It rained like quite a few times that I was over there. You'd be surprised because you know when you think of Las Vegas, you really just think about hot heat, desert. You don't think of, you know,
we got 3 guys down there waiting whenever y'all get ready to knock it out.
You don't really think of, you know,
Okay.
it's cool or it's raining, because it was a couple nights that it was cold too. It's a lot of homeless people, and they do not tolerate homeless people. And for me, because I'm a compassionate person, I did not like that at all. But I guess because it's so many, they have to be like that so that the homeless people don't overpopulate the restaurant that they're in. But like, they charge you for like ice and water, and if you're homeless you can't sit in there, and if you are homeless and you're eating, they're actually staring at you, so as soon as you're done eating they can escort you out. It's just that was really the main thing that I didn't like, the heat and the way they treat their homeless people. But there really are a lot of homeless people, and like one time, this was when like I first got there, and I was trying to smoke my little blunt, but I couldn't smoke into my I'm saying apartment. I couldn't smoke in my weekly. Well, that week, because remember I said my first week there, I was in like an expensive ass weekly, but I couldn't smoke in my weekly. So I was just sitting in my car at Walmart, you know, just puffing on my little blunt. So I start seeing the little people coming around with their little clipboard and shit. So I'm like, oh shit, I hope I'm not about to go to jail. So I done put the damn blunt out and all that little stuff. And the person came up to me, and I hadn't unpacked my car yet, because I had already said that, you know, once my week is up, I'm going to find a cheaper weekly. So I packed my car or whatever. My car was still kind of packed, and the man was like, you know, hey, you know, I see you're from South Carolina, or, you know, what are you doing out here? So, you know, like I said, I'm really smoking, so I just made up a little lie. I was like, yeah, you know, I just moved here. Literally, I just got here maybe like 15 minutes ago, and I'm still waiting for my sister to get off of work so she can come open the door for me. So I'm just sitting here basically just waiting for my sister to call me. They're like, yeah, I understand that. Congratulations for coming out here, whatever the case may be, but you know, we have a really low tolerance on homelessness, and you know, even though I know you just moved here, it looks like you're homeless because you have your back seat filled up, so we're just gonna take down your license plate number. And you know, it's not a problem at all, because I understand that you're just sitting here with your sister, but I just have to let you know, you know, if we see your car here again, and we see you or your car here again, you know, and it's back here or whatever, then, you know, we're going to tow your car. So, you know, the first thing I'm looking like, okay, well, bitch, first of all, this is a Walmart, so how can you tell if I'm inside shopping or if I am doing some other type of homeless type shit? So they're like, oh, well, if you're shopping, excuse me, they're like, if you're shopping and this, that, and third. I'm like, okay, bitch. So that's just how strict they are as far as with homelessness. Other than that, that's it. I didn't even see no fine boys, y'all. I'm thinking I'm gonna see some fine boys, because during the process after I got there, my man was acting up, and he actually didn't want to be with me for a while. And I guess it was because of the long distance. So okay, whatever. So I was really trying to find me like a little cute little boo thing. Didn't find none at all. And so now I'm the end, because this already is 33 minutes. But so my grandmother got sick. She had a light stroke, but they was making it like it was worse than what it was, basically. But my grandmother raised me and my sister, so I started feeling guilty about leaving for so long, moving all the way across the country. Like, I could at least have moved closer. Just so much things is going through your mind. You know, now I'm talking to my work friends about the situation, because I'm telling them I may have to leave now and go back home, and I'm feeling like this, that, and the third, and not everything is falling into place exactly like I wanted. And like I said, that was when the lady was telling me how she did it. I had so many people that were telling me how they did it, what they did, or whatever the case, or how they overcome that little homesickness. And you know, they were supportive. I had people who said, you know, I could live with them. I could just go get my baby and come back. I don't even have to stay in the weekly no more. I could come stay with them. The older lady, she actually became a foster parent, so she was already kind of dealing with kids already, so she was like, you know, girl, you can come live with me, go get your baby and come back, do not stay, you know, just telling me all type of stuff. But girl, once I came back, I ain't left. And that's Vegas. That is fucking Vegas. That is why I moved to Vegas, just to have a new life, to do more, to be more, you know what I'm saying, to just experience something that I've never experienced before. You know, I do have regrets on coming back. I think about Vegas every day since I left, so that's how I know that it is a regret. I think I'm still gonna live with that until I can successfully move someplace else out of where I'm located. But I can tell you, if out of this 35 minutes, out of everything